In a world where the divide between humans and Fae is marked not just by walls but by legends, soaked in blood and fear, a single arrow fired in desperation sets off a chain of events that will rewrite the fate of one girl in the world she never believed she'd enter. This is not just a love story. It's not just a fantasy. It's a battle of survival, loyalty, and desire in a world both breathtakingly beautiful and terrifyingly cruel. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas takes listeners on a journey from the starving, frost-covered woods of a mortal land into the golden halls and twisted thorns of a fairy realm where nothing is as it seems and love may be the most, dangerous magic of all. Summary. Feyre Archeron knows hunger. It claws at her bones and haunts her dreams. Living in poverty with her father and two sisters, she's become the provider, the hunter, the one who ventures into the bleak forest beyond the village to find food. On one such winter day, with death looming closer than ever, she kills a wolf. But this is no ordinary beast. And with that single act, Feyre breaks an ancient treaty between the human world and the realm of the Fae. Soon after, a monstrous creature bursts through her door demanding retribution. She has a choice: die or come with him to the land beyond the wall. Taken to the spring court of Prythian, Feyre discovers that the beast is no beast at all, but Tamlin a High, Fae Lord cursed by a dark magic that has slowly devoured his court. What begins as captivity slowly shifts as Feyre learns about this enchanted yet dangerous world filled with creatures both wondrous and wicked. Tamlin is not the monster she feared. Beneath the mask he wears, a literal gold mask fused to his skin by magic, lies a man fighting for his people, his court, and perhaps something more. As the days stretch into weeks, Feyre finds herself drawn to the secrets of Prythian and the powerful Fae who protect it. But the spring court is not a place of safety. A shadow looms over the entire land, a blight spreading darkness that weakens Tamlin and threatens to consume the magic of the courts. Feyre, who arrived powerless and bitter, begins to see that her presence here is not just about punishment, but possibly part of something far greater. Her feelings for Tamlin evolve from hostility to passion, and against all odds the two fall in love. Their connection burns slowly at first, then uncontrollably igniting something in Feyre that feels terrifying and right all at once. Yet even as love blooms, danger multiplies. The blight Feyre keeps hearing about isn't just a creeping curse, but the work of a cruel and manipulative High Fae queen named Amarantha. She has claimed the throne under the mountain, a place of darkness, where she tortures and rules over the Fae courts with an iron hand. Years ago, Amarantha laid a trap, a curse over the spring court and Tamlin in particular. To break it, someone had to fall in love with Tamlin. A mortal had to love him with a whole heart and tell him so before time ran out. Feyre had been that chance, but she never said the words. And when Tamlin sends her back home in an effort to keep her safe, she doesn't find relief. She finds agony, realizing her love too late and learning of Tamlin's fate. Feyre returns to Prythian of her own free will, but Tamlin is gone, taken under the mountain to Amarantha's court. And the only way to free him is for Feyre to face the queen herself. She's offered a deal: complete 3 impossible trials or solve a riddle. If she succeeds, Tamlin and the Fae courts will be free. If she fails, she will die. The trials are brutal. They test her strength, her cleverness, and her will to survive. In a pit of mud and bones, she faces a giant, worm-like creature with only her instincts to guide her. In a second trial, she must solve a puzzle under the threat of being crushed. In the final, she is forced to kill 2 Fae in a test that threatens to shatter her soul. All the while, Amarantha torments her and the rest of the Fae courts. Watch in horror and silence. During this time, Feyre meets another High Fae named Reason, Lord of the Night Court. Rhys is dark, manipulative, and impossibly powerful, but he helps Feyre in strange ways. He bargains with her, saves her life in exchange for a tattoo that binds her to him and ultimately becomes an unexpected ally. His motives remain unclear, but his presence is unforgettable and unsettling. While Tamlin remains silent under Amarantha's control, Rhys plays the villain to keep Feyre alive. In the end, it's not brute strength but Feyre's sharp mind that breaks the curse. She solves Amarantha's riddle, declaring that the answer is love. But before that moment, Amarantha kills her. Tamlin is forced to watch as Feyre's neck is snapped and her life is taken. But the Fae are not done with her. In recognition of her bravery and sacrifice, the High Lords of each court give her a drop of their power, and Feyre is reborn not as a human but as a High Fae. The curse is broken. Tamlin kills Amarantha in a ferocious explosion of magic. The Spring Court is restored, yet Feyre has changed. She carries the trauma of her trials, the blood on her hands and the complicated bond she now shares with Rhysand. Though she returns with Tamlin to the Spring Court, a part of her remains tethered to something darker, something freer. What makes A Court of Thorns and Roses so immersive isn't just the beauty of its world or the suspense of its plot, but the way it explores what it means to love, fight, and transform. Feyre's journey is about more than romance. It's about growing into power, facing impossible choices, and discovering that sometimes survival is its own kind of magic. Listeners of the 10th anniversary recording will find themselves transported deeper than ever into Sarah J. Maas's vivid and dangerous world. With enhanced narration music and new layers of emotional weight, this version breathes fresh life into a story that has enchanted millions. The recording doesn't just retell the tale, it reawakens it, offering old fans and new alike a chance to hear Feyre's story with greater intensity and richness. This isn't just a fairy tale with a twist. It's a reckoning. A story about monsters in the woods and monsters in the heart, about love that saves and love that scars, about choices that bind and courage that unbinds. From the moment Feyre steps into the frozen forest with her bow in hand, the listener is gripped and dragged breathless through a story of sacrifice, seduction, and the kind of power that reshapes entire worlds. Whether you are hearing this tale for the first time or returning to it years later, the 10th anniversary recording of A Court of Thorns and Roses is more than a celebration of a beloved novel. It is a reintroduction to a world that pulses with danger, burns with desire, and whispers with the magic of fate. Because once you cross the wall, there's no going back.